So Tucker Carlson had the abomination of a human being named Katie Hopkins on his show, who's a well-known racist and a xenophobe. What you're going to be looking at here is more about this Tommy Robinson case. Let's look at all the misleading things that they say and the goalpost shifting that they do. We're going to break it down. Check it out.
And he was outside the court. He was reporting on the trial of a grooming gang, as I would call it, a rape squad. It's a cause, as you rightly say, that he's believed in for so many years. And he's one of those people who's been calling this out relentlessly, despite all of the slurs that are made against him. And yet, within 5 hours, he was arrested, he was tried, and he was sent to prison for 13 months, and none of us were allowed to talk about it, write about it, mention it, because there was also a ban on any of the media speaking about it.
Well, that's the part I don't understand.
These are very dark times in the UK. It's a very curious feeling in this country at the moment, and I would say the country is on a knife edge. There is a real sense now that we are against our own government, that the establishment is working against us, and in order to cleanse voices it doesn't like, it will put them inside for as long as it needs to shut them up.
That's horrifying. I don't know, I'll be honest, anything really about Tommy Robinson. I don't care. I don't know what he believes. It doesn't matter. He was saying what he thinks in public.
Take that, Tucker. I don't know Tommy either. I'm not a colleague of his. I don't work with him. Many people say he's an idiot. And in some ways, I concur.
So what?
He's been told not to report at these trials, and yet he's still there reporting. He didn't go with his lawyer or solicitor. You know, he knew he was going to get into trouble. But then I say to myself, even if you don't like the guy, even if you don't know the guy, surely there's some fundamental principles like,
yes,
where was the swift justice for the victims of the grooming gangs? Where was the swift justice for the 11-year-old that was raped? If we can get Tommy in prison within 5 hours, where was the swift justice for these men? And where was the swift justice for the victims? And I would also say, no matter what you think of Tommy, whether you hate him, love him, don't know him, throwing him in prison when he is a guy who's repeatedly called out majority Pakistani grooming gangs, rape squads, that is a death sentence for Tommy Robinson. And we may criticise, our government may criticise the Russians, like for getting rid of Skripal and other.
So in the beginning here, what Katie Hopkins doesn't mention is that there are reporting restrictions on this case because it is a danger to the process of bringing justice, and it's a danger to due process itself. And he's putting the trial at risk for a mistrial with what he's doing, because not only is he claiming that the defendants are guilty already, which would allow them to be able to file for a mistrial, they would have grounds of saying, oh, this person is contaminating the jury, so we file for a mistrial. In the beginning, she doesn't mention that there were reporting restrictions and why they're on. Now, later on, she mentions it like in the middle as like a little bit of an interjection just for the purpose of putting it in there. But these exist, you know, whenever the judge feels it's necessary. And so when this happens, I don't understand how this is now. And here's the thing, too. The thing is that there's video of Tommy Robinson already saying that there's reporting restrictions on this case. So he's aware of this. He's very much aware of this. And here's the thing. And so she mentions how he was sentenced in 5 hours. Again, massive lie of omission, because they don't mention that he was already convicted because he did the same shit a year ago, the exact same shit he did a year ago, and he did it again now because he wanted to try to be a martyr, and so far it's worked. But the reason why he was sentenced within 5 hours was because he was already given a sentence of 3 months in jail, but it was suspended for, I think I want to say 10 months it was, on the, you know, basically the notion that he wouldn't do it again. So as long as he doesn't do it again, that was going to be suspended for 10 months. But he does it again. So what happens when you already have all of that precedent set? You sentence him because he's already been convicted on the charges of, you know, contempt of court. And so here's my problem, okay? Is that this whole Tommy Robinson thing, there's multiple things that people are saying, and we need to get down to this because I see a lot of goalpost shifting going on. So the first goalpost is, oh, they're silencing voices. So as she says in there, they're cleansing voices. That's quote verbatim phrase that she uses, cleansing voices, which is 100% false. That's not what they're doing at all. They're just following whatever they would have done. Even if it was a left-wing voice, it doesn't matter, because no matter what, if it's contaminating the jury and bringing the, due process, a risk for due process and a mistrial coming in, they're gonna take you out, and they're going to charge you no matter what side of the aisle you're on. So they're not cleansing voices. It's a law that applies to everyone who would be reporting on that. And that is 100% false. So you talk about how that's false, and then once that's proven wrong, they go, oh wait, no, but now we think that the law is unjust. Well, where have you been all this time? Why has this not been a problem until now? And also, he's just a clear criminal. But they're going to say, oh, the law is bad. But they're not going to mention that he actually is the one. She talked about, where's the swift justice? Justice doesn't come swiftly, number one. It's not always best to come swiftly because you want all the details to come through. But the person who's putting the trial at danger is Tommy Robinson, not the other people. It's not the the judge or the jury. It's Tommy Robinson who's putting it in danger. So he's the one who's putting the trial in danger. There was a report that they might file for a mistrial because of what his reporting was, because he's contaminating the jury. And also, this guy is an idiot, as they're talking about. He is a fucking idiot, because I think he was convicted on mortgage fraud in 2014. This guy's he's gotten into fights. He's the founder of the EDL. Like, this guy is a nefarious human being. He's clearly trying to break the law and become some kind of free speech martyr, which is complete bullshit. The dude's a fraudster, and everybody's falling for it, and it's embarrassing to see all of this misinformation. And the main thing that I hate is the goalpost shifting.